Mini episode 473 of the FDH Lounge is brought to you by TV Howl, your home on the web for coverage of today's television scene and a look at the history of the medium as covered by big-time TV critic Adam Buckman. Follow them on the web at tvhowl.com.
The FDH Lounge. You want to schedule your life around it.
A long time ago, on a gloomy, wet Cleveland spring night, two men stand alone amidst the late-night drizzle. Their voices echo across the vacant station parking lot as they debate the merits of the great American radio show that have been missing for far too long. On that night, an idea was born. That idea became the FDH Lounge. Welcome to the FDH Lounge.
Welcome to mini episode 473 of the FDH Lounge. This is FDH managing partner Rick Morris here with the FantasyDraftHelp.com insider for our 11th season covering the NFL. This is your Week 5 recommendation for fantasy football starters. We've got some preface notes that we'll be delivering every week. First of all, our advice is probably a bit different than some in the industry. We're not the place to go regarding the question of whether or not to play a healthy Aaron Rodgers this week. Aside from reiterating our list of gimmies, we don't discuss them beyond that. We're also not part of the movement that overstates the importance of week-to-week matchups. Sadly, if you bungled your draft or auction, there's not much except a great stroke of luck on the waiver wire that can salvage your season. Now, in very shallow leagues, you can pick up potential impact players off the waiver wire, but you hardly need a fantasy football industry source to tell you to do that. We play the percentages on giving our advice, which is all that anyone can do, even those in the industry who purport to own a crystal ball. You'll always get intellectual honesty from us. Okay, here's our list of constants for the season. When healthy, you don't jerk with these guys. You leave them in your lineup regardless of scary matchups. There are 3 quarterbacks, Peyton Manning, Aaron Rodgers, and Drew Brees. There are 12 running backs, Jamal Charles, Shady McCoy, Adrian Peterson, Matt Forte, Marshawn Lynch, Monty Ball, Eddie Lacy, Alfred Morris, Arian Foster, Doug Martin, DeMarco Murray, and Giovanni Bernard. There are 8 wide receivers, Megatron, Demaryius Thomas, A.J. Green, Dez Bryant, Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, Antonio Brown, and Julio Jones. There are 5 tight ends, Jimmy Graham, Julius Thomas, Vernon Davis, Jordan Cameron, and Rob Gronkowski. With the gimmies out of the way, in a moment, a look at the more marginal picks for this week. Folks, you're listening to the FantasyDraftHelp.com insider.
Get on up, stay on the scene.
What happened, Toast? I think he's on steroids. It's like trying to cover a f***ing racehorse.
Get up, get on up, stay on the scene. Get on up like a sex machine. Get on up, get up, get on up, stay on the scene. Get on up like a sex machine.
Remember, our recommendations for the Thursday NFL games are always up on our Twitter account at the FDH Lounge. We like 17 QBs this week. Blake Bortles, Tom Brady, Jay Cutler, Joe Flacco, Nick Foles, Mike Glennon, Brian Hoyer, Colin Kaepernick, Andrew Luck, Eli Manning, Cam Newton, Phillip Rivers, Tony Romo, Ben Roethlisberger, Matt Ryan, Matt Stafford, and Russell Wilson. We like 13 running backs. Le'Veon Bell, Reggie Bush, Kyle Davis, Frank Gore, Rashad Jennings, Stephen Ridley, Kyrie Robinson, Bishop Sankey, C.J. Spiller, Darren Sproles, Zach Stacy, Pierre Thomas, and Shane Vereen. We like 23 wide receivers. Keenan Allen, Kelvin Benjamin, Anquan Bolden, Marcus Colston, Brandon Cooks, Michael Crabtree, Victor Cruz, Julian Edelman, Larry Fitzgerald, Michael Floyd, Pierre Garçon, Andrew Hawkins, T.Y. Hilton, DeAndre Hopkins, Deshaun Jackson, Vincent Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, Emmanuel Sanders, Steve Smith, Torrey Smith, Golden Tate, Sammy Watkins, and Reggie Wayne. We like 7 tight ends, Dwight Allen, Martellus Bennett, Larry Donnell, Zach Ertz, Antonio Gates, Greg Olson, and Jason Witten. There's one team that we have labeled as all out, meaning that we don't like any of their players, the New York Jets. Conversely, we have 2 all-in teams, Chicago and Denver, meaning that we like all of their marginal players in addition to the gimmies on each team. And the following teams are on the bye, Miami and Oakland. Every week, we also recommend 5 of these players as especially strong, and this week's slate includes Andrew Luck, Eli Manning, Le'Veon Bell, Darren Sproles, and Vincent Jackson. Thanks for checking us out. Again, for a more comprehensive look at this year's fantasy football season, download our free guide, Fantasy Football Draftology 2014 at FantasyDraftHelp.com, as well as Fantasy Hockey Draftology 2014 and Fantasy Hoops Draftology 2014. Go break off a little value on your opponents in fantasy sports, and be sure to sample our other Nothing is Off Topic mini episodes, including our recent conversations with superstars such as Rick Bucher, Kenny Albert, and Bobby Kimball from the FDH Lounge.
As we bring the show to a close, we would like to extend our deepest gratitude to NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, all Clear Channel affiliates, TNT, TBS, USA, UPN, Deadspin.com, YouTube.com, YTMND.com, MySpace.com, various blogs, Fox News, CNN, CNBC, MSNBC, IamBoard.com, Billboard.com, Google.com, ESPN, ESPN2, ESPN News, ESPN Classic, NBA TV, NFL Network, Sports Time Ohio, Athlon Magazine, Comedy Central, Cartoon Network, The Boomerang Channel, QVC, BET, The Spice Channel, Steno Notebooks, Manwich, Papermate Office Supplies, Waitresses, Strippers, Bartenders, Garbage Men, Janitors, Microwave Popcorn, the writers of The Office, Scrubs, Entourage, My Name is Earl, Oz, Metalocalypse and the Boondocks, Aquafina, and The Periodic Table of Elements.